11 years since Man United last won the Premier League. 16 years since they last won the Champions League.
It's all over. United win it.
And in that time, it's been difficult.
Manchester United's worst start to a season since 1989.
This would be an 11th defeat for Manchester United this season. They haven't lost that many in a single campaign since 1990.
If I can give you one word to describe the last 10 or so years, I'd say inconsistent. There's been ups.
That's it! Get the red ribbons ready! Manchester United, FA Cup winners for a 13th time!
It's Rashford, and Manchester United have produced the impossible. Nacho, the young man, can he make himself a hero? He has done. It's Manchester United's quarter-final.
But the downs have been painful. Considering we're talking about the biggest, most successful club in the country, it begs the question, where did it all go wrong? For 21 years, Man United dominated the English game in every competition. They had the best players, the best manager, the biggest stadium, and the most trophies. They set records, broke records, and was the face of English football, sitting at the table with other powerhouses like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. As a United fan, I can understand why people hated my club. All the best players would come to our team. If there was ever a player in the Premier League trying to reach the highest level of success, just know that they're looking at Manchester United. Some of the greatest players that have ever played in the Premier League are all Man United players. I mean, you can look at goalkeepers, United are Peter Schmeichel, Van der Sar, David De Gea. You look at some of the all-time great defenders, Rio Ferdinand, Jaap Stam, Nemanja Vidic. And you look at the midfielders, we have some of the best midfielders of all time, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, Brian Robson. And if you want to go further back, you can even look at Bobby Charlton. And then you look at the attackers, which is what United have been known for. I mean, you got arguably the greatest, most talented English talent of all time, Wayne Rooney. You got a guy that was the face of football for a long period of time in David Beckham. Then you got players that absolutely dominated their position while they were playing, like Andy Cole, Ryan Giggs, Van Persie, Ruud van Nistelrooy. And last but not least, arguably the greatest player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo. And then you pair that all up with the greatest manager in sports history, Sir Alex Ferguson. It was a complete powerhouse that nobody could take down. Look, to put it simply, being a United fan was good. It was almost a little too good.
And in sport, we've just heard that the Manchester United manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, has retired.
On the 8th of May 2013, Sir Alex Ferguson, widely known as the greatest manager of all time, announced his retirement from the club. The fan base was distressed. It sent shockwaves across the whole footballing world. For me, Fergie had been the United manager my whole life, literally. He gave me a feeling as a United fan, watching my team win and lift certain trophies that I can't replicate. You can't bring it back, you can't buy. He literally changed the country. One of the main reasons why a lot of people come to the UK is for football. It's the biggest tourist attraction. He brought in some of the best players to have ever played the game and put them into a team to really succeed. And Fergie used that United mentality to always appreciate the youth. And he brought into the team what we now know as the Class of 92. The Class of 92 was a small group of young players consisting of Nicky Butt, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Phil Neville, and Ryan Giggs. Everyone doubted Fergie, everyone doubted them and thought they were too young.
You can't win anything with kids. You look at that line at Manchester United today, and Aston Villa at 2:15 when they get the team sheet, it's just going to give them a lift, and it'll happen every time he plays the kids. He's got to buy players, as simple as that.
But they have, as Alex Ferguson pointed out, they have got star names to come in. They've got Cole and Giggs, Cantona in due course,
and
Bruce.
Steve Bruce, still not enough. The trick of winning the championship is having strength and depth. They just haven't got it.
Fergie believed in them, and of those same boys that led United to the first ever English treble. Sir Alex Ferguson was United. Sir Alex Ferguson was football. After Fergie retired, there was a lot of confusion at the club. The owners had never had to run the club without Fergie in charge. Speaking of the owners, Avram and Joel Glazer, the American billionaires known as the Glazers, bought the club back in 2005. It was bought by a man called Malcolm Glazer, who later on passed it down to his sons, Joel and Avram Glazer. Instead of buying the club with their own money, they loaned money from the banks, which in turn put Man United into hundreds of millions of pounds worth of debt, which is now standing at just under £1 billion. Now, because the club was so successful and each year was getting bigger and bigger and making more and more money, it meant that for them they were making more money, but it also meant for the club that it was going into more and more debt each year. So not only did they financially ruin the club, but the structure of the club was completely destroyed after Ferguson left. They ended up leaving most of the footballing decisions down to one man called Ed Woodward, who was just an accountant. This resulted in countless signings, spending huge money on players that didn't even suit the team. Not only that, but numerous managers brought in and sacked. Some may say deserved, some may say undeserved. So after poor decision after poor decision and a huge pressure from the fan base, the Glazers finally decided to sell part of the club to the billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And this leads us on to today. United are currently coming off their worst ever season statistically. However, even though the season was rough, they still managed to pick up an FA Cup trophy, which is now 2 in 2 years. With this brand new ownership, a new structure in place, and the development of football on and off the pitch, is this now the turning point for United being back on top of the world?
Manchester United are the pick of the Premiership once again. Ronaldo, brilliant! Makeda, great turn, Makeda! Oh my word! It's a Roy and the Rovers debut! Ball to Ronaldo, chance Manchester United! Goal! Manchester United! Wayne Rooney with a hat-trick. Manchester United showing the character that only champions possess. Scholes, 2-1 to Scholes. Oh, this is dream stuff. To the shot, Sheringham. Into Sheringham and Solskjaer has won it. Manchester United have reached the promised land. History is made. Manchester United are the champions of Europe again. Champions of Europe, champions of England, winners of the FA Cup, everything their hearts desired